Even though it's their purpose, not every mascot in college football is adorable, or interesting, or sensical. In the big leagues, mascots serve a purpose. They are usually of sound thematic consistency with their squad. But in the NCAA, well, sometimes long-standing tradition is greater than sense. And that's how you get a tree as the mascot for a school. And that's not even the worst one. Today we've got a list of odd characters more robust than the day is long, and you're gonna find out the weirdest, most awful one at the end. Critiquing the worst mascots in college football is coming up next.
Bros, the math doesn't lie. Women absolutely prefer a man who takes care of his junk. It isn't just about the concept of personal grooming. It's about having the right tools to get the job done. That's where Manscaped comes in. If you're using old rusty plug-in clippers, do yourself a favor and throw that shit away. Cause you ain't getting Manscaped, you're getting Manscraped. Let me show you the proper way. Let's look at this fine piece of engineering. Do you see a cord? No. Their long-lasting battery allows you to take these waterproof clippers in the damn shower with you. That's the move right there. No cleanup. Oh, you worried about these blades rusting? Guess what, Nancy boy? They are made out of ceramic and they don't rust. And when they eventually get dull, replacing them is damn easy. You can even get replacement blades shipped to you automatically with Manscaped subscription options, where you can not only get all your blades replaced, but all your products like crop cleanser body soap, which is my favorite, sent right to your house without you getting up, lazy ass. So after this video, it's time to whack those weeds down and flex on yourself hard. Go to the link below, use my code POINT20 and get 20% off and free shipping. Oh, did I mention the Perfect Package 2.0 comes with all this other kick-ass stuff? Again, use the code POINT20 and we'll throw in the Shed travel bag and ship it to you for free. Come on, it's time to live on the top flight of dick clippers. Manscaped.com.
Real quick though, the NCAA has some bizarre mascots out there like the Evergreen Geoducks and the RISD Scrotum. This list is limited to schools with football programs only. I will cover all NCAA mascots at a later time. Let's get into it. It's bad enough Purdue has a weird name synonymous with a shot combined with a beer and a defunct career option, but we are starting this list off with creepiness that just gets creepier. Originally a logo on the bookstore in 1940, Purdue Pete's first head weighs 50+ pounds and looks to be constructed out of paper mache and hardened Asiago cheese. That debuted in 1956 and was so large it had to be strapped on like Hannibal Lecter's face mask and severely limited the user's movements to that of a person with diarrhea being asked to dance the cha-cha. Instead of making Pete less creepy, Purdue has doubled down with injection molded versions that do allow for less spinal compression. In an attempt to literally stop scaring kids, Pete was redesigned in 2011 to be fuzzy and look less like a ventriloquist doll on meth, but the fans hated it so much they immediately went back to the plastic version that has jaundice. With a mascot on par with naming your team the Sand Gnats, Hungry Mosquitoes, or Flesh-Eating Bacteria, the Arkansas at Monticello chose Wheezy, the boll weevil, which is a bug that can infest cotton crops and wreak havoc on a farmer's bottom line. The squad was given its name in 1925 by UAM President Horsfall when he said, "The only gosh darn thing that ever licked the South was the boll weevil. That's what you are, boll weevils." Well, apparently their costume designer licked the back of a toad, and now we have Wheezy, an anthropomorphic, overgrown weevil with a giant proboscis ready to chow down on some fresh undergarments. The boll weevil's biggest rival is another weird-ass mascotted school, the South Arkansas Mule Riders. Much of this mascot's history seems to be shrouded in more mystery than a college admissions scandal, but one thing I do know is that this picture is creepy as f***. John Harvard is the mascot of the Harvard Crimson, and it's hard to determine whether this grown-up version of Chucky after inhaling Freon is the official mascot versus a statue of the actual John Harvard. Yes, this is the real dude Harvard University is named after, and he came to America in 1627, founded Harvard University, and then died of tuberculosis. Sounds like the Harvard football team. Every year. A statue of him was erected and it sits in Harvard Yard, and passersby rub his foot for ironic luck. Still unclear as to what this thing is, but you would think smart people would come up with a better mascot. Do you know what strikes fear in the heart of your opponents? Threatening to read slam poetry to them for 3 hours.
I have a problem with the man. Not the man, but the man. You know who I'm talking about, but does he know who is talking about him? It's me.
What are you talking about?
Dear God, that does sound frightening. But that's what Whittier College, a small school in Southern California, actually did from 2008 to 2016 when they chose Johnny Poet, an overgrown personification of their school's founder, John Whittier, as their mascot. Apparently, this fellow walked softly and carried around a big stick, which was a giant pen. Ooh, that's scary. What's gonna happen after you lose a game? Send the other team a nasty letter? Well, the Saints did that, so... Johnny Poet was excommunicated in 2017 and replaced with Woolly Whittier, a giant purple mammoth. In honor of John and his career, here is a shitty haiku. Johnny Poet was a fucking mascot, but now he is dead. Syracuse started out okay with their mascots. First it was an Indian chief named the Saltine Warrior, but then they decided on a gladiator, but the students hated that, so they came up with Otto, an overgrown orange ball sack. Yes, this mascot looks like 2 testicles that sprouted legs and then goes around telling chicks he will call them back or is interested in a second date. Talk about a lying sack, heyo! Originally Otto was to be called Opie, but the university feared it would rhyme with dopey. Seriously, that's what they were concerned about, not the fact that their mascot looks like Louis C.K.'s yam bag with a hat on? He first appeared in 1980 and has a Twitter account, you know, for the DMs. Speaking of scrotes, Ohio State University doubles down with their mascot, Brutus Buckeye, a semi-human being with a giant nut on his face. Did I just say that? Let's just keep going. Yes, the Buckeye is an actual nut that is toxic to humans, Michigan fans, and most college football fans in general. Seriously, the nut has very little actual usages other than medicinal. It's about as worthless as signing Urban Meyer to a long-term deal. Brutus is named after the guy who stabbed Julius Caesar, the founder of many casinos, in the back. In 2010, Brutus got attacked by the Ohio University mascot, which he easily shook off, something OSU fans can't do when they get left out of the playoffs. No word on if Brutus has any tattoos, but he probably knows a guy. If Otto the Orange is a living ball bag, check out our first living penis, the Delta State Fighting Okra. Looking like an angry Pickle Rick with boxing gloves on, the Fighting Okra first appeared in the late 80s. Delta State is in Cleveland, Mississippi, which explains a lot. The team name is the Statesmen, but the Okra was brought in because unless you're a 15-year-old congressional page, statesmen aren't intimidating. The Fighting Okra mascot has appeared on the Food Network, as the plant is pretty tasty when it's breaded and fried. The mascot apparently is a YouTuber too, so it probably gets up around 11 a.m. Do not check your eyes. You are seeing this. Yes, a keg is an unofficial mascot at Dartmouth University and has been for over 15 years. After the school pulled a Syracuse and called themselves the Big Green in 1971, a mascot void was created. In 2003, 2 students who then worked at the on-campus humor magazine Jack-O-Lantern decided that making a mascot that perpetuates pretty much every college stereotype was the move, and Keggy was born. Since then, it's been met with mixed reviews, but there isn't much to do in New Hampshire besides ski and drink, so the mascot has become a staple of the Ivy League school. The costume has been lost and stolen a couple times and has been banned from official Dartmouth events. No word on what Keggy is filled with, but we're assuming it's some pretentious IPA common to New England and tastes like piss. If the Fighting Okra looks like an angry penis, Colonel Cobb looks like a penis that spent a night in the Villages, Florida and hasn't seen his doctor yet. Concordia College in Minnesota has always been into corn, and since 1893, they have been known as the Corn Cobbers. Various mascots came along until 2006 when Colonel Cobb, a high-ranking official in the Dork Army, hit the scene. Colonel Cobb can be seen on the sidelines of Concordia football games and in your toilet after a cookout. Washburn University in Kansas clearly states on their website that Ichabod, their pale mascot that looks like Patrick Bateman with a hat on, has no affiliation with Ichabod Crane nor Planters Peanuts. Ichabod is named after the university's founder, Ichabod Washburn, and I bet you had no idea Washburn has been around since 1865. In 1895, scandal hit the school when it was discovered that some of the bodies used for anatomical study had been stolen from local cemeteries. I mean, it's not like anyone was using them. It's unknown when this version of Ichabod came out. However, he definitely looks like a fella that might try a thing or two on a cadaver. In 1993, Nebraska held a statewide contest for a mascot, and the Cornhuskers came up with what looks like Bob's Big Boy had sex with an inflatable Lego, and now we have Lil Red. Apparently, Red holds enough oxygen inside him for up to 1,000 people, which is slightly less hot air than Bo Pelini used to distribute.
Him too. That's what I'm going to tell him. He wants to walk out after my press conference. I'm going to say, get the away from me.
Lil Red can also be seen working alongside Herbie Husker, whose outfit looks like it can be bought at any Lincoln area Walmart. It's bad enough that UL Lafayette landed themselves on my worst college football stadiums list, but their mascot is the embodiment of setting your mouth on fire and subsequently burning a hole through your anus. Though the squad has several mascots and are named the Ragin' Cajuns, Cayenne was added as it embodied the spirit of Acadiana, the college town. And it looks about as appealing as burning your sinuses out and screaming for a glass of milk. One version of Cayenne featured eyes redder than a tourist visiting Colorado for the first time, and the dude has flames for hands. Pro tip, if you eat hot wings, wash your hands before you pee. We must be getting near the end, as the penultimate entry to our list is, of course, the Stanford Tree. In 1975, student Christine Hudson dressed like a tree, and the rest is history. Since then, the tree has evolved from looking like a giant green dress to a cornucopia of giant trees. People, do you understand that trees do not move? It's bad enough that shit is in Fortnite, and now your whole school dresses up like a goddamn tree? Sorry. The tree has been known to scuffle with Cal Berkeley students and mascots, as I mean, really, what is a tree going to do to you? It's a fucking tree! It can't do shit! They have a tree as a mascot. A tree. Sorry again. And now for the worst mascot in all of college football. Yes, we have made it to the abomination that is Big Red, the mascot for Western Kentucky University. Is it a blob? Is it a red Kermit on crack? Is it a used tampon? Did I really just go there? Big Red first appeared in 1979 as student Ralph Carey was tasked with coming up with a mascot. He wanted to stray away from the stereotypical hillbilly mold. As an homage to the red towels waved at games, Carey sketched out a red blob and showed it to his compatriots who were either drunk off bourbon or too busy doing hillbilly shit, and Big Red was born. And it is it. What's even more amazing is that in 1990, an Italian TV station made a character called Gabebo, to which WKU sued the station for being a carbon copy of Big Red. Seriously? Someone copied this? The case is still pending, but you can slam the door shut on another file. Big Red is easily the weirdest, worst mascot in all of college football. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to check out Manscaped and use my code POINT20 for 20% off and free shipping. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.